With foreign holidays out of the question, it seems, for most of the summer for British people, the Lake District and our other national parks are expecting an influx of visitors on a scale they've never known before. They welcome the business, of course, but can they cope? And will lovely spots like this simply be spoilt? This is the Michael Crick Report for Mail Plus. Rubbish left by a group of wild campers next to Thirlmere last weekend, including 6 new tents, just abandoned. A depressing, more regular sight recently, after last year's break in the lockdown brought lots more people to the lakes who had little thought for this World Heritage Site, its people or its rules.
They chopped a tree down so they could get access, so they could put the boats down on the lake. We had examples of, we saw drug paraphernalia with bottles of, nitrous oxide that were left behind here. There was human waste, packaging waste, barbecues.
Last year, he says, cars parked on a narrow road along Lake Coniston blocked an ambulance.
The roads were blocked from either end, and an ambulance couldn't actually get through the traffic. And after that, they had no option but to close the road because lives were in danger.
It's ever so nice in this field, but I'm glad those cows have gone.
Aye, they're taking themselves off for a walk down the road. Look, through that gate I opened. The one marked private.
Remember this? Only perhaps if you're a certain age.
There's a farmer down there with a purple face.
Well, I don't think he looks very friendly.
Maybe you're right. Though it can't be anything we've done.
No.
But this Thursday, the government will relaunch the Countryside Code after pressure from one of Lakeland's MPs.
When folk come out to the country, why oh why won't they follow the country code?
I think if we are going to have the British people falling in love with the British countryside again, brilliant, let's teach them how to treat it. What I've been asking for since last spring, last summer, is for it to be popularised, advertised, people to know what it is. And it's the basics. It's making sure you don't park in passing places. It's making sure you don't park on the grass verge. You don't block the valley road so that emergency vehicles can't get by when you park. It means, take your litter and everything home with you. It means close the gate. It means keep your dog on a lead. Don't climb over a dry stone wall and break it down. Use the flipping stile. I'm sounding, I guess, fairly obvious, but for people who are not used to, spending time in the countryside, maybe it's not obvious, and we do want people to come and visit us, but we want them to know how to treat the area when they come.
In response to this summer's likely influx, a campsite will open for 2 months next to the heart of Chapel Stile, a village in the valley of Langdale. Many locals aren't pleased.
This is right in the middle of the village, and if they've all been into the pub and the barbecue's going, it's going to be wonderful because there's pensioners' bungalows up the side there and pensioners' flats along the side of the wall there. Why should they be disturbed? We live here. Don't forget, we live here, and we have to put up with this because the tourists that we get don't care. They really don't care, some of them. They just throw the litter down, they leave the gates open, they let the dogs run loose, and I've never ever wanted to leave this valley. I was born here many years ago, and honestly, the last few months when I've heard about this, and this as well, it just makes you think, why the hell do I want to stay here?
It'll be all right as long as people behave well, and if they don't leave a lot of litter or make a lot of mess. And don't keep the villagers awake with rowdy parties. But
You think they might?
I think there's a very good chance, yes.
Further up Langdale, we came across a farmer, Jonathan Benson, and his flock. He sees it from both sides. What do you think about the idea of there being a lot more visitors this summer?
It'd be good for the economy, but it'd be a bit of a nightmare up here, won't it? There's only so many people you can have in the area. like in October, it was seriously busy with people, and that's normally like getting to a quiet time. There was 8 sheep run over on this road, so you see what it's like.
But overall, you in favour of more visitors, or?
You're never going to stop it, whatever my opinion is it? People are always going to come to the Lake District. It's just, you know, there's going to be locked down. You can't travel abroad, can you? So there's going to be even more of it. It just needs to be the infrastructure to deal with them.
The boss of the national park says this year could be its busiest yet. He welcomes higher numbers and says they'll now have more car parks and more wardens.
What we have the opportunity to do is introduce a new generation to the wonders of our national park, and we'll be putting more staff and more volunteers on the ground to meet and greet those new visitors to the national park when they arrive here, and talk to them about where they may be able to go for their walk or get some fresh air, and also give them messages about how to behave in the countryside.
And the problems here in the Lake District are likely to be reflected across all of Britain's 15 national parks at a time when the park authorities are under increased pressure to make the parks more accessible to people who don't normally use them.